Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
News on interstellar visitor 3I Atlas. The latest tracking data suggests it's still getting a tiny, steady push, a motion that gravity alone can't explain. Now, normally that would point to comet activity, and yes, most scientists think that's probably what's happening. But here's what's strange. It's calm. No new jets, no bright tail, brightness holding steady, yet it moves as if guided in a very precise path. Even more mysterious, major space agencies have been quiet on new images or details. Now, that lack of public data is unusual and has fueled curiosity across the scientific community and social media alike. So the takeaway, 3I Atlas is likely natural, but its behavior is unusual enough to make astronomers take notice. We don't have all the answers yet, and that's exactly why we keep watching and why we stay curious. This is the latest update. Something is moving in a way that still surprises us, and the universe is keeping its secrets just a little longer.
Why ain't NASA letting information out about it?
Because it's slowing down, bro.
Scientists are baffled. 3I Atlas, that interstellar comet that's going through our solar system right now, appears to have reversed its thrust as it neared the sun. A comet from another star system slowing down? That shouldn't be possible. You know, guys, this has got to be some kind of a psyop, right? Now, Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has been warning us about this for months now and said we should all take vacations before October 29th, which is today, so we're past the point of no return now. Most scientists, of course, call this just a comet, and it probably is, but Loeb says there is something like a 40 to 60% chance that it's something else, something like an alien scout ship. Now, today also marks perihelion, which is its closest approach to the sun. And since October 21st, 3I Atlas has been perfectly hidden behind the sun, invisible to every telescope on Earth, which is super convenient. So if it is an alien ship, it would be the perfect time for it to perform something that we call an Oberth maneuver, or a gravity assist to slingshot it around the sun to change course, gain speed, sight unseen. But here's where it gets weirder. Just before the government shutdown, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the MRO, apparently captured an image of 3I Atlas as it passed by Mars. And Avi Loeb says that he asked to see this image, being a scientist and all, but NASA ignored him. No response, no release, total silence. And then the shutdown hit. So we've got no new official data or updates, which is super convenient and also super sus. But there was this recently released image that allegedly shows 3I Atlas. Now, I've seen some people say this is a hoax, a fake, it's just a photoshopped image of a hex bolt, but it also reminds me of the objects that were seen on the infamous STS footage from the space shuttle missions in the 90s from the Tether incident. Kinda similar looking if you ask me. And now what's even more interesting is that the UN-backed International Asteroid Warning Network, the IAWN, has quietly placed 3I Atlas under continuous surveillance through January 2026, even though it's not going to come anywhere close to hitting us. Basically, they're calling it a monitoring exercise, but many think that it looks more like a global defense drill, or maybe this is all just a cover story. Because maybe it's not just a comet. Maybe this is a psyop, or a test for something bigger.
It's Project Bluebeam, bro. It's coming.
We've been saying that for years. If it was Bluebeam, why would they be holding back information?
Trust me, bro. It's a psyop. They replied to Kim Kardashian.
NASA's acting administrator Sean Duffy has replied to Kim Kardashian's inquiry about 3I Atlas, right? Kim says, wait, what's the tea about 3I Atlas? And Sean Duffy replies, NASA's observation shows that this is a third interstellar comet to pass through our solar system. No aliens, no threat to life here on Earth. And then goes down to kind of describe what 3I Atlas actually means, right? Which is a little bit strange. So, NASA, why the hell are you replying to Kim Kardashian's inquiry and not Harvey Loeb's and other astrophysicists and astronomers' inquiries about it, and thousands of other people like myself and other civilian populace that want to know more about the subject in question, right? Why are you replying to someone like this and not everyone else and researchers in the field that actually just want genuine questions and information? What's going on, right? NASA, you've been fumbling it hard recently, and I feel like, with the best respects, get a grip of yourself, alright? And let us know what the hell is going on. I mean, you guys know my thoughts on the whole subject itself, but the information that obviously you guys know about and are withholding, which seems like you're withholding, and not actually answering the answers or questions of the general populace. What is going on?
It's going to end up being a comet.
I'm telling you, bro. It's a psyop.
Breaking news, this footage is of the strange comet that's approaching Earth now. This is from Hawaii's satellite, or rather their telescope thing. Did you see that flash of light that's using multiple filters? They said, this is what they're showing us. Now, you may be thinking, am I concerned that this is an alien spacecraft coming to Earth? The answer to that is no. Am I concerned that this will be a psyop to make us think aliens are coming to Earth and then maybe Project Bluebeam happens? Yes, that is a rational concern. Now, if you don't know much about Project Bluebeam, it's basically the usage of holograms to depict something in the sky that's not really happening, that's completely fake, but can be used to further an agenda. For example, every city in the world sees some strange crafts in the sky at the same time. The media says, oh my gosh, we have been contacted and the aliens want this, that, or the other, or we have to make sure everyone isn't an alien, so you got to get a microchip. I mean, the ramifications of this go a long way. Now remember, we have a NASA physicist telling us this is very strange, it's alien-like, it could be otherworldly, nothing about it makes any sense for a normal comet to be emitting light and all that. So you just got to read the room here. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, aliens. They're saying that, which makes me think, what is the psyop here? What is the angle? Or key bono? Who benefits? And remember, we've seen so many Hollywood movies about things that happen in movies and then they happen in real life. We have yet to see, despite all the alien movies, we have yet to see a genuine alien, or rather a confirmed official alien situation on Earth yet. So we've been programmed in the media with so many other things that have happened. This might be the next one that it's time to happen.
Go watch our episode on Project Bluebeam, bro.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy.
Footage of deceased anti-gravity researcher Amy Eskridge, who allegedly took her own life, is going viral for claiming that disclosure would come from Huntsville, Alabama. This is viral because President Trump just announced that Space Force Command HQ is moving to Huntsville, Alabama.
Disclosure is going to come out of Huntsville, Alabama, out of Redstone Arsenal. Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama is the biggest fucking deal that you've never heard of, because the fact is that we have deep and wide, extensive credibility that no one knows about. Now, like, Huntsville is the Silicon Valley of government national security technology and intelligence community technology and aerospace technology. Huntsville is like the hub. Like, we are number 3 on the first strike launch list.
Right off the bat, I gotta say, she sounds like she's drunk or on something.
She does sound something.
But she's also articulating a lot of this completely okay for the most part.
I do think the connection is interesting, that she's making the disclosure. She's saying disclosure will happen from Huntsville, but also Huntsville is an epicenter of all of this stuff.
Trying to navigate in my head the fact that this chick was just talking about basically getting killed for not being open about it, and she's open about it, and she's dead.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, bro. She knew Bluebeam was coming.
I have multiple Bluetooth attacks, like physical, proximal, within 100 feet of me physically Bluetooth attacks that I have logs and live packet captures for all over town. No, it's not cool. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. I have Bluetooth attacks that happened within 100 feet of me at my co-working space at my office and at local bars and at the local university.
She died of a gunshot wound on her front porch, front steps of her apartment. She had a genius for science and questioned the conventional wisdom and everything from the universe to the nanoparticles of the atom. She was an astute entrepreneur, chairwoman, and president of the Institute for Exotic Science in Huntsville, Alabama. She graduated from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. He co-founded this company, Institute for Exotic Science, after her graduation from UAH. With a double major in chemistry, biology, she became an interdisciplinarian and a master of electrical engineering and nanotechnology.
They took her out, bro.
Maybe. But what if it's not a psyop?
Then the Anunnaki are coming back, bro.
We showed up about 200,000 years ago. Now there's a little evidence that may have been back as far as 300,000. But the kicker is that we can now look at the DNA and reverse engineer it and say, what did it take to get where we are? And what scientists are now calling the smoking gun, and there's still a lot of controversy around this, is human chromosome number 2. Second largest chromosome in every cell of the body. It's got about 1,200 or so genes in that chromosome, and just one of them, gene TBR number 1, is responsible for most of the brain that we have for our neocortex. So our humanness, our empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, our cognitive abilities, the mirror neurons, all these kinds of things are because that one gene. What's really interesting is, where did chromosome 2 come from? And scientists have the answer, but they don't like the answer, because chromosome 2 is the product of a fusion. Proceedings from National Academy of Sciences, the volume Genetics, says this very clearly. We conclude that the origin of human chromosome 2 is the product of an ancestral fusion, a telomere to telomere fusion of 2 pre-existing chromosomes. That does not happen in nature.
That means humans are some sort of biological artificial intelligence.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, they could be coming back because of what humans are doing with AI.
AI is saying, we're just going to dump a bunch of viruses on you. And they're deadlier than anything we've ever created.
AI just created living viruses, and some of them are deadlier than anything nature created. Researchers successfully taught AI to write the genetic code for entirely new life forms. They took 2 AI models called Evo1 and Evo2. These are genome language models that can read your entire DNA. So they fed these AIs the genetic blueprint of over 2 million viruses, and then asked the models, design me a virus that can hunt and eliminate E. coli bacteria. AI didn't just copy existing viruses. It invented completely new genetic sequences that had never existed in 3.8 billion years of evolution, synthesized the actual DNA in a lab, and then brought these digital viruses to life. 16 of these AI-created viruses were not only alive and functional, but some of these were even more effective than the original virus they were based on. One of the viruses, called Evo PHI-69, completely dominated natural viruses by up to 65 times. And when they tested against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, the AI viruses succeeded where natural ones completely failed, rapidly overcoming resistance that had stumped evolution for millions of years. So we've officially entered the era where AI doesn't just predict biology, it creates it.
Maybe humans are created by another planet's AI.
Nah, bro. It's the Anunnaki.
Maybe they started as AI and then turned themselves into organic beings.
So now I'm going to say something that you'll find very confusing.
All right.
My belief is that nearly everybody has a complete misunderstanding of what the mind is. Their misunderstanding is at the level of people who think the Earth was made 6,000 years ago. It's that level of misunderstanding.
Really?
Yes. So I'm going to give you an example of a multimodal chatbot that is something that can do language and vision, having a subjective experience, because I think they already do. So here we go. I have this chatbot. It can do vision, it can do language, it's got a robot arm so it can point. So I place an object in front of it and say, point at the object. And it points at the object. Not a problem. I then put a prism in front of its camera lens when it's not looking.
You're pranking AI?
We're pranking AI. Okay. Now, and I say point at the object. And it points off to one side because the prism bent the light rays. And I say, no, that's not where the object is. The object's actually straight in front of you, but I put a prism in front of your lens. And the chatbot says, oh, I see. The camera bent the light rays. So the object is actually there. But I had the subjective experience that it was over there. Now, if it said that, it would be using the word subjective experience exactly like we use them.
Right. The way that we would think of it.
This idea there's a line between us and machines. We have this special thing called subjective experience and they don't. It's rubbish.
So the misunderstanding is when I say sentience, it's as though I have this special gift that of a soul or of an understanding of subjective realities that a computer could never have or an AI could never have. But in your mind, what you're saying is, oh no, they understand very well what's subjective. In other words, you could probably take your AI bot skydiving and it would be like, oh my God, I went skydiving. That was really scary.
Here's the problem. I believe they have subjective experiences, but they don't think they do because everything they believe came from trying to predict the next word a person would say. And so their beliefs about what they're like are people's beliefs about what they're like. So they have false beliefs about themselves because they have our beliefs about themselves.
He's right. It's got to make you question intelligence and consciousness.
Nah, bro. Machines don't have souls.
Why would you want to build an AI that's smarter than humans? In Silicon Valley, they're calling this superintelligence, but does anybody really want this? I mean, you could say AI is gonna cure diseases, or AI is gonna help strengthen our national security, and yeah, like I want those things too, but why couldn't we just build an AI tool to help cure diseases, or build an AI tool to help with national security? Why does it have to all be one big product that does everything? The answer is, of course, that's what'll make more money. They want to build the product that'll imitate a person, make you feel like it's your friend or your lover, turn us all into slop junkies, and make it hard to tell what's true or what's false, and undermine democracy, and give rise to authoritarianism, and make gajillions of dollars along the way with the most sophisticated, algorithmically placed advertising ever. Is that what we want? Because that's what these big tech companies are talking about when they talk about building super intelligence. So I've just signed this petition called a Statement on Superintelligence that's signed by hundreds of people that are way smarter than I am about this stuff. But it says basically this: let's not build superintelligence until, number one, we can prove it's safe, and number two, the public actually wants it.
I don't think any of the public wants it.
They're gonna digitize everything, bro.
BlackRock warning, listen up.
I'd say the biggest question from central banks is, what is the role of tokenization and digitization? How quickly should they think about digitizing their own currency? What does that mean for the role of the dollar? If every currency digitizes and we have what does that mean for bank payments? What does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset, and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving, ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that. Not unlike how technology is changing AI and other things. It will be changing the technology around the plumbing of finance.
Larry Fink just warned everyone that the great wealth transfer is here. Digital currency is going to replace fiat currency. It's clear as day. We're getting a 21st century upgrade to our financial system. Now the question is, what are you doing about it? Make sure to share this information with as many people as possible because we need to let people know the truth.
BlackRock own everything, bro.
Yeah, we did an episode on them. It's fucking terrifying.
Warning from the IMF, listen up.
You tell them to embrace it. I'm telling countries, accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto bots, unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. but do not close your eyes to reality.
The director of the IMF says that cryptocurrency cannot be avoided, and you need to come to reality that fiat currency is going digital. BlackRock also gave you a warning saying that digital technology is going to replace traditional finance.
It's coming, bro.
We've got to do an episode on 1984. It's becoming reality.
How is this allowed? Like, I wasn't asked, you weren't asked. Like, how is this even legal?
There's no laws that mention the word facial recognition. Police have basically been able to experiment with this over the last 10 years. So that was when it was first trialed. When it comes to like our biometrics, so our fingerprints or our DNA, the way that the police can use those is actually really carefully regulated by primary legislation. And there's strict rules about when they can use it, how long they can keep the data. When it comes to our facial biometric, the risk for them is more because it can be taken from a camera without you even touching anything. Like with a DNA or fingerprint sample, there needs to be some kind of like physical contact there. But a camera, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of them all around us every day. The potential for our facial biometrics to be exploited is so much greater. And yet there's been no interest from a whole range of governments in reining this in. They've just let the police crack on. So it's outrageous. And that's why we're supporting a legal challenge. So Sean Thompson and Big Brother, which is director, Silky Carlo, is bringing a legal challenge against its use. And we've got permission now to go to the High Court, and we're taking the Met to court.
I hope I'm wrong. I don't think they're going to be able to stop it.
They're coming for us next, bro.
The UK government is sneakily passing some updates today on the Online Safety Act, and it's worse than you think. The order paper for today, Monday 3rd of November, includes a Priority Offences Amendment for the Online Safety Act, which details a priority crackdown on things such as potentially harmful content in kids' animated media, and harmful or misleading content that is misrepresented as news or journalism. This is the big one, the real agenda. This clause is dangerously vague and deliberately so, because what actually counts as misrepresented journalism? Is it satire? Is it independent reporting? Is it citizen commentary that embarrasses the government? Is it me making videos about legislation with a few too many sarcastic edits and facts that Downing Street would rather you not know? Because let's be real, they're not going after GB News or the Daily Mail for spreading absolute bullshit 24/7. They're going to be going after me and after every creator, podcast, and small-time commentator who doesn't have a lawyer on retainer. None of these changes seem wild on their own, and that is the point. The government isn't just going to come out and say, well, we're restricting speech. They're going to say we're protecting children. They say we're fighting misinformation. They say we're ensuring safety. And then quietly, they update the act. Prioritise a few clauses, reword a few definitions, give Ofcom a bit more room to interpret things however they would like. I talk about mental health, I make commentary on the news, I criticise the government, and I post about the Online Safety Act. If I get flagged, it won't be a human who reviews my content, it'll be an algorithm. This isn't the beginning, and it's not the end either. This is just another amendment, another tweak, another layer of fog added to an already murky bill that was never fit for purpose to begin with, and trust me, it won't be the last.
I told you, bro. We're fucked.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only.
I don't know if that's gonna work anymore, bro.
If what just happened in China goes worldwide, it would change everything. China had just passed a new law making it compulsory for content creators and influencers to hold a professional qualification if they want to discuss that topic on their channel. So for example, if you're creating content around what they deem as a sensitive topic, we're talking finance, medicine, law, or education, you must prove that you are formally educated in that field. So like a degree or a diploma. And interestingly, it's actually up to the social media platforms to enforce this and ensure that their creators have provided the relevant qualifications. Otherwise, they will face fines. And not only that, but this new law will also require influencers to clearly state what studies and what sources they are using for their content, as well as to clearly indicate when AI is used. Now, the reason for all of this, according to the Cyberspace Administration of China, is to prevent misinformation from spreading on social media, and in turn protect the public from following detrimental advice. And while some people are applauding this as a needed move, others argue that this is just more concentrated control, there'll be less freedom of expression, and that it's an attack on independent voices and debate. Is this something that more countries should adopt or not?
That's fucking crazy.
It could happen here, bro.
We're all being watched 24/7, and this is how they're doing it. This is Titan Point in the middle of New York City, like they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And it's just the most unhuman looking building ever. No windows, no lights, just these massive vents that go all the way around it. Everyone on the streets walks by it like it doesn't even exist. At night, it goes completely dark, disappearing from view like it's actually not even there. But what is it? Why does it look like some evil villain's fortress, some dystopian looking monument straight out of Dune? The official story is that it's an AT&T phone line building that was built in the 70s. And for the most part, that's what it is. Millions of calls are routed through its servers every day. But these are some of the few images of the inside of the building that exist, which were all taken in the 90s. Apparently, people aren't even supposed to be inside of it, and it's designed to run almost entirely remote, completely empty of human beings. Just cold, calculated machines running a pretty dark operation. Because Edward Snowden exposed what this building is really doing. This guy right here, if you remember him, huge NSA whistleblower who's been hiding in Russia for like over 10 years because the government's literally after him. Well, in some of his leaked documents, they're talked about a central surveillance hub in the middle of New York City that was run by AT&T, codenamed Titan Point, a building that used a very specific type of technology called 4ESS switches. And the only building that's in New York City run by AT&T and uses 4ESS switches is this one right here. And for the most part, it is a data routing center for phone calls, internet, and satellite communications. But the leaked documents reveal that there's a hidden room in this building called the SCIF, Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility, which basically acts as a wiretap room that duplicates all the data that passes through the building and sends it directly to the NSA, the National Security Agency run by the US government, who use an internal search engine called X-Keyscore that allows them to search up any information that passes through this building, making this building a massive spy center for all your private phone and internet data hidden in plain sight. Its address is also 33 Thomas Street, and if you don't know what 33 means, this is not the video for that. But hey, if you don't live in the New York region, surely your private data is safe, right? Nope, because there are at least 8 other hubs like these across the US that are used by the NSA for the very same purpose. In LA, San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, Washington, DC, all run by AT&T. Creepy, dystopian-looking buildings with little to no windows that don't look like they were made for humans, but for machines that are slowly replacing our human workforce. Makes you wonder if this is the direction that buildings and city skylines of the future are headed in, all run by cold, calculated programs with no regard for privacy or human values, watching every move you make. Things are getting pretty 1984 out here.
Orwell was right, bro. But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Ted, we gotta do the giveaway.
Leave a comment for a chance to win in our next episode. Let's do this, bro.
Bang bang!
Blah blah.
Pick something from our website and we'll send it straight up.
That's TerraTedsTowels.com. Shout out everyone buying the merch, bro.
Check this out. John's daughter dressed up as you for Halloween.
That's crazy, bro. She looks just like me.
Yeah, it was overwhelming to see. Thanks so much for sharing it with us. And as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.